Hello cadets and welcome to the Patrol Tackling Basics. We're going to learn here today which ship we are going to be using and how we are going to be using it. Alright, by the time that you're ready to use the ship, you should have asked, as indicated in your welcome mail, for the ISK that you need to buy the ships. To do that, it's very simple. You go into the fitting window, and under hulls and fits you'll see that you have the corporation fitting filter set, or you should at least. Under frigates Minmatar you have the NEPF High-Sec Patrol. There you go. If you are in GETA 4.4 at the market hub, you can simply go and press the open multi-buy, and once you do that you can buy everything in one shot. Otherwise, if you prefer for practice or whatever, you can buy one module at a time and set it up yourself. Good. Let's talk a bit about the modules real quick. Basically, what this ship is made for is for having a lot of scan resolution. The higher the scan resolution, the faster you'll be locking and the more probability you have to actually haul someone or tackle someone. So we have here a sensor booster, named one. It can of course be changed to Tech 2 if you have the skills for it. We have a microwarp drive to be able to approach an orbit at fast speed. We have a web to be able to web the enemy so they don't have such an easy time coming back to the gate and jumping back out. Then we have a Tech 2 warp disruptor, and we use a Tech 2 because it gives much better range. At the bottom we have another signal amplifier which actually increases the scan resolution. We have some agility modules, the internal stabilizer Tech 2. Some guns which are actually long range because we don't want to be too close to the enemy when we do this. And yeah, we have here a small targeting system subcontroller. In some cases, example, if we are on the blockade here, it just adds 2 of those compared to the High-Sec Patrol that only has 1. The difference here is that the High-Sec Patrol has 2 small hyperspatial velocity optimizers which help you warp faster, so you land on gates faster than the enemy, where the blockade version, it gives you extra locking time, so you lock faster. This is more for waiting for them at a gate, and you can say the High-Sec Patrol could be a bit more for following them around. I'll recommend that you start buying the High-Sec blockade and go with that. Alright, once you're in your ship, guys, just make sure that you actually load the scripts. They probably are in your cargo already, so you just drag them to your module, and there you go to have full efficiency. You are looking for, let's say the simulation, you're looking for about anything that passes 2.3 or 2300 millimeters in scan resolution. That would do. You can always resort as well when you're working to overheating the modules. You'll learn how to do it in a moment. And yeah, the highest, as far as you pass the 2300, you should be pretty okay. The higher, the better. Alright, let's move on. Alright guys, so here we are. Let's have a look and see how this is actually done. Alright, we are at a gate that we want to be camping. I'm right here, and you see the gate right below me. The gate can be at 0, in this case it's 262 meters, but the idea here is to be as close to the gate as possible, but that it marks almost 0, but we're not physically touching it. If we're physically touching it, we have very high chances of getting stuck at the gate. That is not what we want. Now, how do we know when the criminal or our target is going to be coming in? We could be with our fleet, so we have eyes to the other side, or something like that. Otherwise, there's several things that can give us a clue that they are coming in. One is that you can see them in local. In this case here in GETA, there's a lot of people, but if you're camping any other gate, you will see them appear with the name of the person who you're looking for, or we maybe already have them marked as red. Another clue is when a criminal jumps in a system, you will read a little message here in the center of your screen saying that criminals are not welcome, blah blah blah, something like that. That means that a criminal is entered the system. If at the same time you see a gate flash, the gate goes sort of a light in it, like now, like what you just saw there, that means that somebody's just jumped in. That could be your clues to see when they are actually coming into the system through your gate. Good. Now, how do we proceed with that? There's two ways or two situations you can find when tackling like this. One is where you actually know when or where they're going to come in from, which means that you're already waiting for them at the other side. This is the first case that we're going to be trying now. And then the other case we're going to talk a bit more about later is when you are sort of following them and you jump right before them, and you need to reapproach the gate and catch them when they are jumping from the same side that you were coming in. Good. In this case, we are already waiting in the side that they are going to jump into. Good. So what we do here, we have set our modules in the following position. The micro warp drive at key number 1, sensor booster number 2, warp disruptor 3, web number 4, and the guns at number 5. We have set our shortcuts to those numbers, not F1 to 3, but the numbers 1 to 3. You should have done that already from the first training video. And yeah, we can simply just put them there. And we do that because it's a much faster way of activating everything. Look, now with my left hand, I'm simply going to press with one single motion, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. See, everything is already set and ready to go. An extra thing that I can do here, everything is now here pre-activated. What I can do here is hold shift, and by clicking one at a time, I can actually preheat them as well. You need the thermodynamics skill for that. It's a very useful skill, a little bit expensive, about 5 million, but it increases the effectiveness of your modules. Like for instance here, you see my web now is 13 kilometers. If I shift down and left click, if I don't preheat it, it goes down to 10. Good. So I'm going to turn these off by clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Everything is off now. A very important thing, every time you're doing this in high sec, every time you're doing anything in high sec, make sure you have your safety full green. Very important, because otherwise you'll fuck up, you'll shoot what you're not supposed to, and you'll die. With safety enabled, what will help you, for instance, if I have my things pre-activated and I misclick the gate, or a friendly or whatever, I will lock it, but my modules will not shoot, thanks to the safety in full green. If I didn't have that, my modules will shoot the gate and I will be conquered or shot down by NPCs immediately. Alright, so we are waiting on this side and we're waiting for the bad guys to arrive. And what we simply do is we press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one single motion. For instance, my number 1, I use my pinky, and number 2, I use my next finger, number 3, my middle finger, and number 4, you know, the next one, etc., etc., etc. But it's all in one motion. Now, from here, because my modules are pre-activated, I just need to hold the Q down, which is set to my orbit button. And in the police tab, because I know that he will appear here as soon as he moves, as soon as he has jumped in and he moves, he will appear here. I just need to hold my key Q down, which is set to my orbit, and start spamming the left mouse button. I don't need to hold control, I don't need to hold any locking key down, because my modules are pre-activated. Yeah? So I just start spamming here in the top position, because as he appears, as soon as he appears, he will appear up here. Tick, 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 tick. So I start clicking, and fair enough. I have preset, of course, my orbit to the distance that I want to have, in this case 7,000. Right-click on it, set default, and put it 7,000, because, especially it's because of my web. My web has a 13-kilometer range. I want to make sure that when I already click on him, because I'm spamming as soon as he appears, my orbit will be already activated and come into orbit within the 13 kilometers as soon as possible. It is possible that he appears farther away than the 13 kilometers. That's not really a problem. The disruptor will be applied because it has, as you can see, 29 kilometers. The guns will be applied. It's all good because they reach at 17 kilometers. The only thing you might need to be aware is, did he appear farther away than my 13 kilometers? Well, then my web will not be applied, but as soon as I am within the 13 Ks, I can re-click the web, and then I will apply it. So, yeah, let's go through it very quick one more time. I just turned everything off. All right, I'm on the police tab, waiting for them to jump in. As soon as I get the clue, then I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold the Q down, and start spamming here on the top line of the police, just waiting for him to appear. As soon as he appears, everything will be set. Oh, for some reason this didn't. I misclicked with my left hand, no problem. There you go. Clicking, and as soon as he appears, he is pretty much fucked. All right, let's move to option number 2, when we are jumping right before them and we need to reapproach the gate. All right, guys, so here we are with the option number 2, scenario number 2. That is when we are actually ahead of the criminals or the gankers, and we are all of us coming from the same side. We want to jump through the gate and reapproach it before they jump so we can catch them by the time they jump. So we're going to start here with all our modules off. It doesn't matter if they are on. As soon as you jump, everything will turn off. So we just landed at the gate. We could have the police tab pre-selected because we will see them appear here. As soon as we see them appear before they actually land totally, we can simply jump to the other side. We change to the gates tab, and we hold the W down and start spamming the top line, which will be the closest gate to us, the one we jumped. Good. As soon as we see the speedometer moving, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then shift, click, shift, click, shift, click. Rechange to police. Now we can start just spamming up here, waiting for them to appear. All right, let's do it one more time slowly. I'm going to turn everything off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Let's see. Let's imagine that we are on this side. We just landed at the gate. We're waiting for them to arrive. We can wait for them to land, or if we know that they're coming this way, we simply jump. We have the gate that will land selected. We just jump through. As soon as we jump, gates selected, W key down, which is our approach. Start left clicking on the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shift click, shift click, shift click. Back to police, and ready. Spamming already here. As soon as they appear, we got them. You see, guys, how fast actually I can be approaching the gate after I jump? All right, I'm going to turn everything off. Good. Let's try it one more time. I just landed at the gate. That's beautiful. So I can be using the police tab. I jump through, select gates, hold W, which is my approach shortcut, and start spamming the top, which is the closest gate that I just jumped through. It's the one that's going to appear. So I just start clicking. As soon as my speedometer moves down here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shift click, shift click, shift click to preheat, and back to police. Start spamming. Practice this over and over and over. You know that you're doing it right because you're basically touching the gate. You approach very fast, and you have everything pre-activated, plus those 3 preheated. If you've landed like this at the end, you know that you've done it right. Now, there's a way of preheating everything, another way, which is this button here. You can have a shortcut as well for overloading the mid rack completely. I don't use that because that will basically overheat my sensor booster and my microwarp drive, frying it on the process. You can always repair. Yes, you can. It's a matter of taste. Of course, you could use the shortcut to overheat your entire medium rack, and then you only have to shift and click your guns to preheat them. It's a matter of taste. I do it like this because I have good skills on my to increase my scan resolution. Then I don't really need the extra heating of the sensor booster because I pass about the 2.6, 2.7 without overheating it. But it's a complete matter of taste. All right, let's try it one more time. I press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to turn everything off. I just landed on the gate. Good. I spam on the jump. I could use the J, which is my shortcut for that, but I just click it. I jump through, have the gate selected, hold W down, which is my approach shortcut, and start moving. Clicking here. As soon as my speedometer starts to move, I click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold down, click shift, hold down, click shift. Back to police. Start spamming. I'm ready. As soon as they appear, there you go. See? You can see I'm exactly where I want to be. It's almost touching the gate. Everything is pre-activated, and I'm already spamming here on the police tab. All right. Good luck with this, guys. Go practice it over and over and over until you master it. You will catch So many criminals. Remember, criminals, the fleshy rats, Concord will help you, so actually you just need to hold them, and Concord will help you kill them. If they are suspects, fleshy yellows, be careful with that because you will not have NPC help. But if you have your fleet with you or some other people camping the gate, they will help you shoot the target. Alright guys, have fun.